I have propped you guys. I told you I'll improve with time. I'll be propping you. I'll not come here leaving you guys hanging, okay? Or prop you guys when I'm here. I hope you're all well. I am well. I'm just restarting my life in my 30s. That is what I'm doing. I never ever imagined that I would be starting my life in my 30s because I had no reason to ever think that I'd be restarting these at this age. If anything, I knew in my 30s or by the time I'm hitting 30, I'll be settled in every aspect of my life, maybe just one or two pending. But ideally, I knew I'd be very comfortable, I'd be very wealthy, and I'd be liquid and have my kids, have my husband, things like that, have a home, things like that. One is because I have always been the settling type. Two is I have always been very, very smart, very focused, and I work smart. I deliver. That one I know, I deliver. When you see me not delivering, just know there's a problem. Know I am going through something. There is a problem, and I just hit my tripod. Know that there's a problem. But lo and behold, I am here. I am restarting my life in my early 30s when I least expected. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I started working at as an intern for 9 to 10 months, after which I got a job. I got confirmed at in that company, a very beautiful company with gracious bosses back then who trained us for the job, and the company was just solid and very, very good. Let me tell you, most of the senior guys that I see in most of these companies are a product of that company. So I was an intern there for quite a while, and then I got a job there, and I got a promotion and then a promotion. So I ended up being in middle management at a very young age. Um, eight, uh, that was 20. At 20, I was 2021. I was in middle management. The salary was not bad. The perks were not bad. At least then I was able to pay for my master's degree. I sorted out a sibling, one or two. I sorted out my issues. I sorted out some projects I would have here and there. And I still was living a very comfortable life. But before then, because I was interning, I was living in a single room in Nairobi. If you know Nairobi city, you know that is a crazy town. So I was living in a single room where you would have shared toilet and bathroom, and we did not have taps in the house. So I was staying on fourth floor. So I would go for water on ground floor, and water would come only Saturdays. So I'd wake up and go bring water in jerry cans to fourth floor. Currently, I am barely 50 kgs. So back then I was even smaller. But I was just peaceful. And I would work around things. I would organize myself. I had bought a big basin that I would stand in and then put bathing water on a bucket and put it on top of a jerry can and just shower, so that I am not showering in those shared bathrooms. And then I would hold my thingies and use the washrooms at work. But now the catch would be on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, when we are not going to work. I would still be forced to use our washrooms the way they were, you know. So I lived that life for a while, and I remember I'd wake up at 5 a.m. so that by 5:30 I'm out of the house. I got a very good friend who taught me Nairobi tricks. I'm out of the house, and I'd end up paying 20 shillings instead of 50 shillings to town in a matatu, and then I'd walk from town CBD Nairobi to Upper Hill. Now, if you know where Kenyatta Hospital is, the Kenyatta Hospital is on those sides of Upper Hill, so I'd walk towards that side. If you don't know where Upper Hill is, and then in the evening again we would walk back to town. I catch a matatu to Isli, Garissa Lodge, and then I walk now home for like 20 minutes just to save and make ends meet. And we used to be given an allowance of 10,000 Kenya shillings for allowance, and the company was kind to buy us lunch and things like that. So I worked that way, and I got confirmed. Our CEO was so good. Back then, she was the MD, managing director. So she said, I want to get the best interns. Sorry about the noise. I want to get the best interns. Yeah, the lighting has changed because I'm forced to close that window. I want to give me the best interns who have degrees. I want to give them first priority. And yeah, we were given opportunities, like 4 or 5 of us. And then that is how my professional life began. And I grew and I did very well. Very, very well. I lived a very comfortable life. I cannot even mince my words on that. I was living a very good life. And then at some point, my baby comes. At some point, a man comes. Life continues. At some point, I have to resign from this job. Bad idea, bad decision. I should have stuck there. Um, and I tried getting a job here and there. Yeah, for 2 years, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. And I get to a point and realize now this job is not working for me. So I quit. If you've not watched my video of I quit, the link is here, or I will also leave one in the description box. Yeah, so that happens and I quit. Now, businesses this year and last year were really affected in Kenya. You're trying this, you're trying that. Clients are here and there, but prices are very bad, so you're not making anything out of these businesses you get. And so you just try to hold on, you just try to hold on. And now I'm at a point where I need to leave the house I live in. I need to leave because the owner wants it back, the owner wants his house back. And of course, I've also been asked like 6, 7 times to leave. The owner has asked me 6, 7 times to leave the house. So this time I was given until a certain period I should be out of the house. So I have to start looking for a house because now I have the nanny, I have the child. I have to start looking for the house and I have to move. So that is coming very, very soon. So now, business is on its knees, it's struggling, but I declare life on my business. I declare life. It will crawl, walk, and run in Jesus' name. I declare life for my business. So, For now, it's still a bit tight. And then, yeah, it's gotten quiet. And then you have a child now. You know, back then when you are very okay, very stable, had a financial muscle to do your thing, you did not have a child. But now you are kinda in a shaky situation. There is a child in it, and there is a house help in it. Because if you don't have a house help, how are you going to look for money? You have to. How are you going to look for opportunities? How will you step out to go look for food for your child and you don't have a nanny? Plus, I have stayed with my house help for over 4 years. Actually, we are almost clocking 5 years. Yeah, since my child was 1 and she's almost clocking 5. So I have to leave, and when I leave, you know, I have to pay rent, I have to pay for the bills in the house, I have to find a way to feed people, to pay the nanny. I don't know how the child will go, but yeah, whichever direction it goes, if I will have to sort the child out, I will sort. If the father decides to sort, they will sort. But then that is where now I am. From now being very stable financially, mentally, physically, looking so pretty, to now just emotionally, I was not a rake. I was just okay, to now starting to look for a house. I was in a very beautiful 1-bedroom house. Beautiful. I had furnished it to my standard, to my taste. I left there and came here, but now the owner wants the house, so I have to leave. And it's what it needs me to take very bold steps. I think I've been living under a shadow of myself. Sorry, I think I've been living under a shadow of myself, and I've not really been myself. And I've flogged myself. I've beaten myself up because of the decisions I made in the past. Let me go cry and then I'll come back. Yeah. So you've cried a little bit. Now I feel better because of the decisions I made in the past. Then I thought there were things or decisions to make, but we were young and stupid, and now we know better. And then now I thought it was a caravan, but looks like there's a who's decided. Yeah, so some decisions were not good back then, some actions were not good then, but I have learned. I can only do better, you know. So it's like, you know, the way you live but you've buried your head in the sand. That is how I've been living. You know, the way you're just on a ticking time bomb, but you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it. You're like, no, that can't happen. Yeah. That's how I've been. Um, but sorry, I've also been under the weather. But just accepting that this is where I am, this is my situation, and just like the lepers, I will take the leap of faith. If I stay, I might die of hunger. Let me go to the camp of the soldiers who are killing our people. They can give us some food, we will live, or they can choose to kill us. So it is in that action or leap of faith that actually these lepers survived. Go read that Bible story. So I'm seeing myself at that point, and I know one thing. I know everything always work out for me. Everything works out for me, however long it takes. I moved from a single room in Nairobi to a bed-sitter in Mombasa, to a one-bedroom in Mombasa. Then I moved even near town to a one-bedroom, which was more expensive. And I paid rent comfortably. I fed myself. I looked nice. I was just flourishing. Isn't that the same God that I worship right now? Isn't that the same energy I have right now? I have, if anything, I've grown older and more wise. So we are doing this. We are restarting life by faith in our 30s, and it will be good. It will be surely good. That one is for sure. So I just want to see how I will reorganize my life, look for money, and I see what options I have, and not all is lost. At least there's one or two things I can look at. Like I can look at my child and say, she has grown. Out of every other thing, I have someone that looks up to me, and I have something or someone that motivates me, And even as I move or restart my life in faith, I know I have to work on my values. Why is this kid shouting? I know I have to work on my values. I want to be a high value woman. I am, but I know nililegeza somewhere. I sold myself short. Yeah. So let's see how life unfolds in this new chapter, okay? Yeah.